Skyscrapers are great at one thing, standing still. They rise hundreds of meters into the sky, defying wind, weather, and zoning committees. But they're not built to move, especially not at 28,000 kilometers per hour. So what happens if we launch one into orbit? Let's take something classic, say the Empire State Building. 102 floors of Art Deco steel weighing over 365,000 tons. Instead of anchoring it to bedrock, we bolt it to a rocket. A very, very large rocket. The plan? Get the entire skyscraper into low Earth orbit, intact. No cutting it into pieces. No building it up there. Just point it skyward and light the fuse. This is going to go badly. But let's do the math anyway. Launching anything into space is hard. Launching a skyscraper is worse. The Empire State Building weighs roughly 365,000 tons. For comparison, the International Space Station weighs 420 tons, which means you're launching nearly 900 ISSs all at once. Or, put another way, one Empire State Building. Let's say you use SpaceX's Starship, the most powerful rocket humans have ever built. It can carry about 150 tons to low Earth orbit. So you need around 2,400 launches to move one skyscraper. And that's just the mass, not including fuel, structure, or a very nervous mission control. But we said we're launching the whole thing at once. So we need a single rocket powerful enough to lift 365,000 tons straight up. That's a thrust requirement somewhere between nuclear-powered Saturn V and we've made a terrible mistake. Even if you could build that rocket, your problems are just beginning. The Empire State Building is built to handle wind, tourists, and maybe the occasional wayward pigeon. It is not designed for rocket launches. During liftoff, the lower floors would experience crushing G-forces. The steel frame might hold for about 2 seconds before collapsing under the combined stress of acceleration, vibration, and several thousand tons of "we didn't think this through." Even if you reinforce the building for launch, there's the problem of aerodynamics. Skyscrapers are basically vertical rectangles. Rockets are not. Rockets are pointy. There's a reason nobody's ever launched a flying shoebox. As the building rises through the atmosphere, air resistance would tear at it, rip off glass panels, and possibly shred entire sections. Somewhere around the upper troposphere, the building becomes a slow-moving debris cloud. But let's say you build a protective shell, an aerodynamic shroud. Congratulations, you now have the world's largest thermos. And inside it, 102 stories of increasingly nervous office workers. If you somehow survive launch, escape Earth's atmosphere, and achieve orbital velocity without turning the whole structure into confetti, then and only then do you have a new problem. You're in orbit. Low Earth orbit moves fast. About 28,000 kilometers per hour, that's a full lap around the planet every 90 minutes. Your skyscraper is now a high-speed satellite with conference rooms. Inside, gravity disappears. The furniture floats. The elevators don't work. Water from the office cooler escapes and drifts past a receptionist trying to hold onto her desk. In microgravity, the concept of floors becomes meaningless. You now have 102 large tubes, each full of confused people bumping into walls and trying to sip coffee from a straw while upside down. There's also the light issue. With a 90-minute orbit, you get a sunrise every 45 minutes, then sunset, then sunrise again. If you thought fluorescent lighting was disorienting, try an entire skyline strobe light. You could try rotating the building to simulate gravity. But that creates centrifugal forces the structure was never meant to handle. You'd have to retrofit the entire building to spin without tearing itself apart like a really expensive washing machine on the final cycle. And that's assuming nothing hits it. Orbit isn't empty. It's crowded with satellites, debris, lost tools, and somewhere out there, a glove that's been circling the Earth since the 1980s. At 28,000 kilometers per hour, even a stray bolt becomes a high-speed projectile. Your skyscraper? It's the biggest target in space. A single collision could puncture a wall, destabilize the orbit, or send a section of the building slowly tumbling. And if the orbit decays, well, down it comes. As the building re-enters the atmosphere, it begins to burn. The air compresses in front of it, heating the structure until pieces start breaking off. Floors peel away. The spire disintegrates. The whole thing transforms into the world's most dramatic fireworks display. Eventually, what's left slams into the ocean in a rain of flaming office furniture and high-speed gift shop merchandise. At which point, congratulations, you've built the first orbital building, and the last. Launching a skyscraper into orbit requires impossible engineering, astronomical funding, and a casual disregard for physics. It would collapse during launch, disintegrate in space, or burn up on re-entry, possibly all three. But if by some miracle you succeeded, well, the Wi-Fi would be terrible, but the view would be amazing.